Howdy friends, welcome to Al's Dog Training Tips. Today we're going to be talking about dogs that are barking at windows and that are also barking at the fence, and dogs that just don't come when you call them. So I met a family over the weekend, and it was quite a busy family. There was, I believe, 4 children, all younger than 11 years old, and then one of them was, I think, like 18 months. So very, very young family, and a dog that they're struggling with. And among the chief problem that my client was explaining to me was that the dog was going to the fence very aggressively, barking at people, also going to windows, barking at people, and no matter what they did, if they put a piece of food to the dogs, if they try to entice it with a toy or anything else, they were getting zero reliability out of the dog to get it to come when called. So when I evaluated the dog, it was actually a really, really easy dog to work. Very food motivated, absolutely crazy about string cheese and hot dogs. So this was a dog that motivated for that, but again, would not come when called. I put a slip leash on the dog. It was minimal mosquito-like pressure on this dog, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1.3, 1.5, a level of pressure. So very, very easy to also motivate the dog with a slip leash. So as I began to explain to my client the fundamental problem, it was this. It was really a problem of how they were managing the dog during the day. See, this dog had the liberty to be able to have the entire house at any given point in time. And so then this is where these behaviors are going to crop up, where the unwanted barking at the fence and the unwanted barking at the window is going to happen. And humans at that point are virtually going to be incapable of compelling the dog to come. I did mention to my client that she should manage the dog more, but not so much to where the dog felt excluded, but managed enough to where the dog didn't have the opportunity to do those things. So if you're struggling with these 2 tips, if your dog doesn't come away from the fence and doesn't come away from the window when you ask them to, here's precisely what you should do. So you have the leash on them, you have your treat pouch filled with food, and allow the dog to go up to the fence, allow them to go to the window on a 100% slack line. Even if there's no distraction, the dog is just at the fence facing away from you, call them 1 time. And then at that point, immediately if you call them, if they do not respond within an 1/8 of a second, a 1/2 a second, gently but assertively, use the leash to compel them to come to you as you begin to walk backwards. At the moment that you see the dog's head snap around and look at you, this is where you're going to release the pressure on the line and you're going to reward the dog. Begin to get repetitions at the fence and at the window before the distraction is there. Man, I would tell you guys, get 20 twice a day for a couple of weeks. And then in that, if you're lucky, the distraction will actually be there when you're in the middle of your training session. This is ultimately what you're going to want. So at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to follow the same technique. Now, you're going to notice that your dog is not going to want to come because of this distraction, but continue to use the leash, walk backwards, and then once the dog turns and comes to you, offer the reward. If the dog doesn't take the reward but immediately goes back, continue to guide the dog back to you gently but assertively. And once the dog chooses to come, reward that. Okay, so that's it for today. Now, if that was useful, you can like this video. You can definitely leave a comment of if there's some kind of problem that you would like me to address in these dog training tips. And obviously, you can also subscribe to the channel. That would help us immensely. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and happy training.